Hello friends, Article 240 of the Indian Constitution gives the President of India the authority to issue regulations for certain union territories or UTs for the peace, progress and good governance of those regions. These regulations operate with the same force as acts of parliament and can even amend or repeal existing parliamentary laws applicable to those territories. The purpose of this provision is to allow the union government to swiftly legislate in territories that do not have legislatures of their own. This presidential power, however, is not intended to be permanent everywhere. Under Article 239A, when a union territory establishes its own legislature, the President's regulatory power under Article 240 normally ceases from the date of that legislature's first sitting. As of now, Article 240 applies mainly to UTs without legislative assemblies, including the Andaman and Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep, and the merged territory of Dadra and Nagar Haveli and Daman and Diu. Puducherry comes under Article 240 only if its assembly is dissolved or suspended. Chandigarh has never been governed under Article 240. Though it is a union territory, it is administered directly by the President under Article 239 through an administrator who is in practice the Governor of Punjab holding additional charge. Despite lacking a legislature of its own, Chandigarh is governed through this hybrid arrangement involving central oversight and local municipal governance rather than through presidential regulations like other small union territories. In late 2025, the Union government listed the Constitution 131st Amendment Bill 2025 for introduction in the winter session of Parliament. The bill sought to include Chandigarh within the scope of Article 240, thereby giving the President the authority to issue binding regulations for the Union territory. Such a change would place Chandigarh in the same legal category as UTs without legislatures and would have given the centre greater flexibility in framing laws for the city of Chandigarh. A major administrative consequence of this move would be the appointment of a full-time Lieutenant Governor or LG who could also be an administrator dedicated solely to Chandigarh, replacing the long-standing practice of the Punjab governor overseeing it. According to the government's stated rationale, this would simplify the lawmaking process for the city and streamline administrative control, but without altering its shared capital status for Punjab and Haryana or disturbing established arrangements such as shared institutions, joint police infrastructure, or interstate service structures. However, soon after the bill appeared in parliamentary bulletins, the Ministry of Home Affairs or MHA issued a clarification on November 23, 2025, stating that no such bill would be introduced in the winter session. The MHA emphasized that the proposal was still under consideration, that no final decision had been taken, and that any movement on the matter would require consultations with all stakeholders. The government also clarified that it had no intention of disturbing Chandigarh's traditional administrative arrangements or its symbolic status as the shared capital of Punjab and Haryana. This abrupt clarification effectively put the proposal on hold and indicated that the government had misjudged the political sensitivity of the issue. The centre's quick retreat suggests that it was testing political waters rather than pushing a pre-finalized reform. The strong and immediate opposition from multiple political parties across ideological boundaries forced the government to step back and avoid escalation ahead of the crucial parliamentary session. In Punjab, the reaction was especially fierce. Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann described the proposal as an attempt to snatch Chandigarh, while leaders from the Congress and Shiromani Akali Dal argued that bringing Chandigarh under Article 240 or 240 would erode Punjab's claim over the city and weaken the delicate balance established after the 1966 reorganization of Punjab and Haryana. Even the Punjab BJP avoided defending the bill, aware of the emotional weight Chandigarh carries for the Punjabi voters. The rare display of political unity suggested that this issue cut across party lines, with all major groups viewing it as a matter of Punjabi identity and historical rights. In Haryana, the response was more cautious. While some saw the possibility of administrative streamlining through an independent lieutenant governor, others feared that altering Chandigarh's constitutional status could disrupt long standing joint arrangements relating to policing, staff allocations, university affiliations, and shared infrastructure. The BJP led government in the state also faced pressure not to appear complicit in a move that Punjab framed as an attack on its rights. At the national level, the backlash risks strengthening opposition narratives about federal overreach. In states where the BJP is not in power, particularly border and sensitive regions, the proposal was seen as another example of the center asserting greater control, similar to the controversies surrounding the role of Lieutenant Governor in Delhi and Jammu and Kashmir. The government's rapid clarification indicated a recognition that the political cost outweighed the administrative benefit, at least in the short term. The episode triggered a renewed debate on federalism, center state relations, and the symbolism of Chandigarh as more than just a union territory. For Punjab, Chandigarh has historically represented unfulfilled promises, especially since several national governments have avoided resolving the city's final status despite earlier commitments to transfer it fully to Punjab. The proposal, therefore, revived these emotions and highlighted the fragility of trust between the center and the state. In Punjab, the controversy has temporarily unified political actors who were otherwise deeply divided. Aam Aadmi Party, Congress, and Shiromani Akali Dal are all positioning themselves as defenders of Punjab's rights, using the centre's proposal as evidence of alleged attempts to dilute the state's authority. This solidarity could strengthen anti BJP sentiment in the run up to the 2027 state elections. It may also increase pressure on the centre during negotiations on agricultural reforms, state finances, or federal grants as the state government becomes less willing to appear cooperative. In Haryana, the political consequences are circular. While the BJP led state government wants to appear aligned with the center, it also must protect local sentiment regarding Chandigarh's joint status. Opposition parties in Haryana are already highlighting the ambiguity and potential risks of the centre's proposal, arguing that any disruption to shared governance could affect both states adversely. Although the issue is unlikely to trigger mass protests, it could influence political narratives and provide openings for local opposition groups. Himachal Pradesh, by contrast, is largely a peripheral stakeholder. While it shares institutional ties to Chandigarh, especially through universities and economic corridors, it is unlikely to be directly affected by changes to the city's constitutional status. The Congress ruled state may, however, echo Punjab's concerns about excessive centralization as part of a broader opposition strategy in northern India. At the national level, the controversy reinforces an ongoing narrative about the centralization of authority under the BJP government. Opposition parties may use the Chandigarh episode to argue that the centre increasingly seeks to expand its control over territories and institutions from Jammu and Kashmir to Delhi and now potentially Chandigarh. This line of attack could further solidify the India bloc's federalism platform as the 2029 general elections draw closer. The centre's proposal to extend Article 240 to Chandigarh has been effectively paused, yet it remains formally under consideration. The government's retreat shows that it underestimated the emotional and political resonance of Chandigarh's status, especially in Punjab. Although the Ministry of Home Affairs insists that the core aim was only to streamline administrative processes, the backlash has made it clear that any attempt to modify Chandigarh's governance structure carries significant political risk. However, the idea could re emerge after extensive consultations, but its future depends on whether the centre can build consensus among Punjab, Haryana, and local stakeholders. For now, the episode has reinforced regional distrust, exposed the limits of administrative reforms in sensitive border states, and revived long standing debates on the meaning of federalism in India. In case you have liked my video, please do like, subscribe, comment, and share. Thank you.